Peace. This is Wise for Wise Words Media, back at y'all for another round. And worst case scenario happened for the New York Knicks. They end up losing Isaiah Hartenstein to free agency. Now, this was, I hate to say it, but this was the inevitable. It was going to happen most likely because the New York Knicks, now some people I'm seeing are bashing the Knicks or saying, oh, you could have gave him more money, you know, he deserved more. There's a technicality involved why the New York Knicks did not offer more money. And that is this illogical, stupid reason called the early bird rights. Now, the early bird rights is a contract clause that states that a player that is on a current team, that current team can only offer him as high, like in the case of Isaiah Hartenstein. In his case, the Knicks can only offer a max contract of $16 million. That's it, because of the early bird rights. And because of the early bird rights, while the Knicks could only go as high as 16, that's all the league would permit them, other teams were starting to offer Isaiah in the 20s, 21 mil, 23. You saw what Isaiah got now. He got a crazy bag, 20, like 28, 20, something like that. So the Knicks, it wasn't that they didn't want to. It's not that they didn't prioritize him. It's simply that they had his early bird rights. And with early bird rights, you cannot pay a player more than a certain amount. And that's why the Knicks were going to have a very hard time this offseason signing iHeart, because of the early bird rights clause, which is a ridiculous clause. That clause right there contradicts what the NBA, back when LeBron James and Dwayne Wade and Bosh formed the Hollywood Heat, when they did that and they saw the backlash that it was getting and people were angry about it and how easily they ran through the regular season and they ended up winning 2 out of 4 championships. When they saw that, they put in the next CBA, they wanted players to stay on their teams, on the teams that they're currently on. But when you have something like the early bird rights, it's a contradiction. Because of course somebody that's being offered X amount of dollars elsewhere is not going to want to stay on their current team. Case in point with Isaiah Hartenstein. He, as much as he loved it here in New York, he knew us Knicks fans, we loved him here. We wanted him to stay here. But at the end of the day, this was his one opportunity. This was his one opportunity to cash in on his hard work and basically have him and his family set for life. You know what I'm saying? Like, him and his kids are set for life. And can't blame him, man. You can't get mad at him for that. Only people you can get mad at is the NBA front office, the league, for putting a ridiculous contract clause in state like the early bird rights, which limits players. As much as they say they want players to stay on their current team, the early bird rights does not allow that. The early bird rights makes it extremely hard. It does the exact opposite. It makes it extremely hard for a player like Hartenstein, who, think about it, before the Knicks, 3 years ago, because he played 2 with us, 3 years ago he was on the Clippers. He was a role player on the Clippers. He may have even come off the bench on the Clippers. He was a role player. And then he comes to New York, balls out. Now everybody wants him. And he's in his prime, age-wise. So this is his last opportunity to get that real big bag. He had to do what he had to do. You know, New York Knicks fans, when Isaiah Hartenstein and OKC Thunder coming to town, everybody in attendance. When that man comes up to the court and he's about to check into the game, everybody give him a standing ovation. He deserves it, man. You want to talk about living up to your name? He played with pure heart. And it's gonna hurt to not have the Hart Foundation anymore. One half of the Hart Foundation gone. But, you know, so is life. But just want to clear the air. This is not a New York Knicks problem. The Knicks did not drop the ball by not giving Hartenstein money. The Knicks were limited due to a contract clause known as the early bird rights, where they were only able to give him 16 mil, while teams like OKC were able to give him 20-something. Hard to pass up for a man in this position. But thank you, iHeart. Isaiah Hartenstein, you are honorary Knick. Thank you for all your hard work these past 2 years and giving us one of the greatest Knick runs in my lifetime, and as bad as we are, one of the greatest Knick runs ever in history. Peace, iHeart. I'm Waz for Waz Words Media. Peace.